Delcam for SolidWorks has added some great new enhancements for preview and centerline simulation in 2013 R2. You can now rewind, step forward and backward, and loop your preview simulations. A detailed preview window shows an operations list for what has been simulated. These enhancements have been applied to general centerline simulation as well. In addition, though, preview can be used to post code for a single operation, feature, or setup. So here's a part already programmed, very simple. We're in a 3D simulation, 3 features, and I'll show you these preview enhancements. If you recall now, preview was introduced in 2013 R1, and it gives you the chance to run a centerline simulation for a specific setup or feature or operation. So I'll use a feature in this case, and to get to preview, remember you can right or left click to get either your context menu or your right mouse button menu. Now obviously I hit the right mouse button. I'll go to preview. And this is pretty much what it looks like as of R1, where you have a speed control, a target, a tool, and the optional location box. So let me run a single block here, make this a little easier to see with just the tool, and I'll make the tool transparent. Okay, now single block this through, and you can see here that the speed, the feed, as this tool enters the work, and the feed will obviously change once it finishes ramping. Okay, and you see all of this happening live, and here's the location changing with the tool. Alright, so this is what it looked like as of R1. The enhancements appear once you've completed the simulation. So let me play it through, and you get a couple new boxes. You get a replay box and an options box. So I'll go through these one at a time. First, the replay box gives me the same little button here. I can single block through. I can go fast forward, take the toolpath in larger amounts. I can also go backward. So this is new. I can go backward to the toolpath. It actually erases the toolpath as it does so. And I can do that in a fast forward fashion as well. We have a slider bar up here which will let me literally drag that toolpath through from start to finish, forward and backward. So you can get into a certain section and really just go back and forth and focus on a specific piece of your toolpath and see what's happening there. So use this slider bar to go through, and I'll just let it play all the way through. So that's the replay section here. This button here will go forward and reverse. So if I hit reverse and hit play, it runs the toolpath backward. Forward obviously goes forward. And we have, again, this is an entire feature, so we have 3 operations, 2 roughs and a finish occurring. So now we go to these options down here. We have looping options. Right now there's no loop, but I can say let's loop forever. And when I hit play, it does just that. It plays over and over and over again until I stop it. And you can also do that backward. I can also loop and reverse. So that will play through the toolpath, and now it's rewinding, and now it's going forward, and now it's rewinding. You can see the progress bar there going back and forth all by itself. So that's what that does. Okay, I'll stop that. We have some display options down here. So we're showing the toolpath. That's the default mode. We can say, no, let's don't show the toolpath, and we simply see the tool animation going through, like so. So it does not give me that centerline display. Let me take my looping off there. Okay, so that's not showing the toolpath at all. I can show only the current operation. Okay, in that case, remember we have rough, and we have 2 roughs and a finish. So I'll play one operation at a time. We still have these controls up here too. So I'll play the first rough, and the toolpath disappears. Here's the second rough, and when it finishes, again the toolpath disappears, and here's finish. So if you're single blocking that, you can, when you get to the end of that operation, that toolpath will disappear. We can show only the current segment, and you can control the number of moves that are being shown. So if I turn this back to 1 move and play through, It only shows that actual move. So let me turn this thing around where we can see it. Okay. One move at a time. And I'll increase this. Let me get back to an isometric view here. I'll increase this to say 10. And that will keep 10 moves visible on the screen. And as it gets to the 11th move, that first move is erased. It's almost like a train of toolpath going through your part there. Okay, so those are some new enhancements here. We have the looping, the playing forward and backward. We also have the detailed preview. So when you click on the eyeglasses, it gives me an operation sheet, but just for whatever you're previewing, whether it's a setup or a feature or an operation. As I mentioned in the introduction, all of this functionality has also been applied to general centerline simulation. So let me stop this. We'll run a centerline for the entire part. And again, I'll just single block it, because when you do that, your property manager opens with the same options. Play the centerline all the way through, and we have the replay box and the options box. So this all applies to centerline simulation, as with the operations list. Of course, with centerline simulation, you're going to get code for everything that's been included over here in your part tree. Another enhancement to preview is that if I'm previewing, for example, a specific operation, for example, let's look at this spot drill. When I preview that, the same options, but when I go to my Delcam task pane and look at my NC code, it's only code for that operation. So with preview, I can post code for something very specific, whether it's one feature, one operation, or one setup. So I think you'll agree there's some nice new enhancements with preview and centerline simulation in 2013 R2.